This video is brought to you by Ridge Wallet, a slim front pocket wallet available in carbon fiber and titanium. With more than 250,000 sold, a lifetime guarantee and free shipping, get 10% off with the code GOLDFISH at ridgewallet.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Monday means it's Modern Monday here in Instant Deck Tech land, and this week, for Modern Monday, we have a super spicy mono blue list. I'm calling this one 8 Snap. Comes to us from Thomas Kolosser, who took it to a top 8 finish at the infamous small European tournament. Actually, not 100% sure what country the tournament was in, but I know it was someplace in Europe. So congrats to Thomas on a super cool deck. A quick reminder before we break down 8 Snap for Modern. If you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So 8 Snap, as the name suggests, build around Snapcaster Mage, but not just Snapcaster Mage. 8 snaps mean we have another Snapcaster Mage, and that is Torrential Gearhulk. So the only true creatures in our deck are 4 copies of Snapcaster Mage, 4 copies of Torrential Gearhulk, and the plan of this deck is just to grind our opponent into oblivion by flashing back instant after instant after instant after instant until finally we win by beating down with Snapcasters and Torrential Gearhulks. So we're essentially mono blue control that just gets an insane amount of value out of our graveyard thanks to Snapcaster and Torrential Gearhulk. The nice thing about Torrential Gearhulk is it is a legit finisher. Like, a 5-6 is a pretty fast clock. We see that in standard and control decks, and it kind of works the same way in modern. If you can just counter all your opponent's stuff, eventually make them discard all their cards, deal with everything they got going on, sooner or later, Torrential Gearhulk will get the job done. If Torrential isn't enough, or if we need a little bit of life gain, we do have one kind of fake creature in Batterskull. So Batterskull comes down as a 4/4 lifelink vigilance. Of course, we can also just move it over onto our Torrential, onto our Snapcaster Mage. The other sweet thing about Batterskull is it's really hard to deal with forever, because if the Germ token dies, we can keep bouncing it to our hand, bouncing it to our hand. So it gains us life against aggro decks, keeps us out of burn range, and eventually helps us close out the game alongside Snapcaster and Torrential. So 8 snaps plus Batterskull, I guess. So the next question is, what are we Snapcastering and Torrentialing back from our graveyard? And number one, we got counters. We have lots and lots and lots of counters. Couple of spell snares to deal with our opponent's 2-drops, a couple of mana leaks, couple of remands, couple of rewinds, so just 2/2/2/2. It's a little weird to play this split of counter spells, but I guess the idea is if you are just all in on counter spells and you see a lot of them and can reuse a lot of them in the late game with the Snapcaster Mages and the Torrentials, that having a variety is kind of nice. So spell snare for turn 2, mana leak just a catch-all, remand kind of the time walk in some scenarios, draws us a card. Rewind is super sweet with Torrential Gearhulk because we cast Torrential for 6, flashback, rewind, untap 4 lands, so it lets us maybe counter something and still leave up more mana to cast another instant, perhaps a Cryptic command, which just so happens to be 4 mana. So a pretty explosive late game play from this deck is flashback the rewind with Torrential Gearhulk, use the 4 mana left over to Cryptic command. Cryptic is a counter spell. It is our best flashback spell, but it's so much more than a counter spell. We kind of got to talk about it all by itself because it just does everything. We can use it to just fog our opponent out of the game, and remember, with 8 Snapcaster Mages, counting our Torrential Gearhulks, we can theoretically cast 12 Cryptics in a game. That's 12 turns in a row of fogging our opponent out by tapping down all their team, drawing 12 cards, bouncing 12 permanents, countering 12 spells. So there is just a ton of Cryptic value, and this is kind of like our best late game line, is just to keep reusing Cryptics because it's so much value when you're countering and drawing and bouncing and tapping. So one of the key cards of the deck to just keep flashing back over and over and over again. First time it's 4 mana, the next time it's 6 mana, either 2 for Snapcaster plus 4 for Cryptic, or just Torrential doing it for free. So the key instant in our deck. Otherwise, opt and think twice, just keep us cycling through our deck, finding our big plays. We also have some spicy removal. Piracy Charm might be my favorite card in this entire deck. So Piracy Charm, probably have never seen it in a modern deck before. It kind of does 2 things. So step 1 is it just kills little creatures. It can kill a Dark Confidant, kill an Unflipped Delver of Secrets, those early game creatures that mono blue decks can really struggle with without having good removal. The sweetest part of Piracy Charm, though, is its instant speed. Target player discards a card. So we can do in our mono blue deck sort of what Jund decks do with Kolaghan's Command. Wait till our opponent's upkeep, they draw a card, we Piracy Charm on their draw step to make them discard the card they do for the turn, and then the next turn we can Snapcaster Mage, do it again, and just kind of like time walk them out of the game by making them discard the card they draw each turn over and over and over again for several turns in a row. Why we're beating down with Snapcasters, why we're beating down with Torrentials and Batter Skulls. Dismember is a little sketchy. Like, yes, it does kill pretty much anything for maybe 1 mana, but it is super painful in our deck that has 0 black mana. So casting this and then flashing it back, that's 8 mana by itself. That's a lot off of our life total. So while it's nice to be able to get rid of everything, certainly risky in matchups where we are under a lot of pressure playing against aggro decks, although to be fair, we make up for some of this by not playing fetch lands, not playing shock lands. Since we're mono blue, we're not spending that life on our mana base, so I guess we're a little more equipped to spend it on Dismembers. Speaking of the mana base, Fairy Conclave, backup win condition, gives us a flying threat to close out the game alongside our Snapcasters. Academy Ruins keep getting back the Batter Skull and some of our sideboard cards. Field of Ruin for Tron and creature lands. Aboro is mostly just so we don't get choked out. It's basically an untapped blue source that doesn't get choked. And then a bunch of islands. As far as the sideboard, more counters, Dispel and Mindbreak Trap. Mindbreak Trap primarily for Storm, Dispel to win counter wars, Hurkyl's Recall for affinity, Etherize, also a lot of value when it comes to Torrential Gearhulks. Finally, we have a handful of artifacts that work well with our Academy Ruins. Ratchet Bomb removal, primarily for small things, Lingering Souls, Lantern Control, all the cheap artifacts. Filigree Familiar gains us some life, draws us some cards, fits really well in our deck, especially with Academy Ruins. And then Spellskite coming back into sideboards a little bit with the Infect being a deck again. One of the best game over sideboard options if you're planning on playing against Infect decks and other similar decks. And that is 8 Snap for Modern. And that's our instant deck for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.